We're going to call this meeting to order November 9th, 2021 at 7:07 p.m. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
All right. We're going to go down to a roll call.
Trustee Dyson.
Present.
Trustee Maxey.
Present.
Trustee Bruton.
Present.
Trustee Robinson. Present. Trustee Jackson.
Present.
Trustee Collier.
Present.
Mayor Bryant.
Present.
Clerk. Village Administrator Jasmine Washington. Present. Roll call.
The quorum is established. Moving down to item number 1, approval of previous minutes, September 28th, 2021, October 4th, 21, October 12th, 21. At the board's review and pleasure, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor Bryant.
Trustee Robinson.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the previous minutes from September 28th, 2021, October 4th, 2021, October 12th, 2021.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Robinson, second by Trustee Bruton to approve the minutes of September 28th, 2021, October 4th, 2021, and October 12th, 2021. Any questions? Seeing here now, let it be known by roll call.
Trustee Dyson.
Yes.
Trustee Maxey.
Yes.
Trustee Bruton.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson. Yes. Trustee Jackson.
Yes.
Trustee Collier.
Yes.
Roll call.
So moved. Item number 2, communications and announcements.
Good evening, citizens. We have quite a few announcements, so bear with me. Our first one is free produce. The Bremen Township and Together We Hope will be distributing free produce at the Bremen Township office in Markham, Friday, November 12th, 2021, start time 10:30 a.m. It opens from 10:30 to 12:30 or while supplies last. And the next one will be Friday, December 10th, 2021. Again, start time is 10:30 a.m. The location is the Bremen Township Administration Office, 16361 South Kedzie Avenue in Markham, Illinois. The Robbins Park District, New Life Alive Church, and the Open Invitation Community Foundation presents a Veterans Day Senior Luncheon, Saturday, November 13th, 2021, 12 to 3 p.m. at the Robbins Park District Community Center, 13800 South Trumbull Avenue in Robbins. Great food and resources. The William Leonard Public Library District will have a Thanksgiving lunch for seniors, November 18th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please RSVP by calling 708-597-2760. Please join us, the Willing Workers for Christ annual pre-Thanksgiving feast at the Robbins Community Center, 13800 Trumbull Boulevard in Robbins on Friday, November 19th, 2021, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Any questions, you can call Bernadetta Evans, 708-417-9742. Free food, raffles, prizes, and music. Robbins United Turkey Giveaway. We are thankful for you. Join us in celebrating the fall harvest with free turkey giveaways, gifts, food, resources, and lots more. Saturday, November 20th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Drive up, stay in your car, and receive your turkey on 137th and Holman. The resource fair will be from 12 to 2 p.m. under the tent, right here at the Village Hall, 3327 West 137th Street. For further information, contact our outreach coordinator, Ms. Gosa, at 708-385-8940, extension 242. Free Wi-Fi is available outside the William Leonard Library Building via the parking lot. The code is WLPLD-GUEST, G-U-E-S-T. The password is Library1. It's available during the hours of 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily. The William Leonard Library is at 13820 Central Park Avenue in Robbins. The building hours are Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Senior Days at the library, Thursdays every month from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, the address is 13820 Central Park Avenue. Stop in for library card sign-up, table games, computer help, and more. The Shrine Circus, all new. The Hammond Civic Center, 5825 Soul Avenue. That's in Hammond, Indiana. And it's Friday, November 26th at 7 p.m. Saturday, November 27th, 11 a.m., 3 p.m., and 7 p.m. And then Sunday the 28th at 1:30 and 5:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale at spectacularcircus.com or at the Hammond Civic Center, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Help for the holidays. Saturday, November 13th at 1 p.m. There is a Thanksgiving food baskets for families in need. This is at the Unity Fellowship Church, 515 East 147th Place in Harvey. Phone 708-339-9323. Bishop Walter J. Harris Sr. is the pastor. The Daughters of Destiny Enterprise, Inc. present the Great Giveaway, Saturday, November 13th, 2021. Again, 1 to 4 p.m. at the Unity Fellowship Church, 515 East 147th Street in Harvey, in the lower level. All are welcome, masks required, and temperature checks. Everything is free. My Girls on the Run Youth Club, meet and greet registration and bake sale. Bake sale items, lemon cake, caramel cake, pound cake for $2.50, sweet potato pie, $2. Peach cobbler, $3 per slice, $3 for 3 butter cookies, $2.50 for cups of chili. November 20th, time 2 to 4 p.m., and that's located at the Park District, 13650 Clare Boulevard in Robbins. Contact Ms. Sykes at 708-224-3570 for more information. The village is again having a senior Christmas party. It's going to be Sunday, December 12th, from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Robbins Community Center, 13800 South Trumbull. RSVP by December 2nd to 708-385-8949, extension 260. Thank you. And that's from Ms. LaWanda Gosa, our Community Outreach Coordinator. Attention Bremen Township residents. Securing Opportunities for Success program and receive job training at no cost and much more. Daily attendance and participation is required Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The training location is at the Bremen Township Center, 15350 Oak Park Avenue in Oak Forest, Illinois. For more information and details, 708-251-4965. Thank you. I know. Sorry about that.
Not at all. That means that there are things going on within the community. Please, also, I know that was a lot from the clerk, and all I can do is sit here and think about, we got to make sure we'll have that on our website for the calendar, right? You can always visit our website, look at the calendar, and they'll give you a month's glance of what's going on in the community, along with what the clerk just reported, okay? Item number 3. Anyway, any questions in regards to communications and announcements? Item number 3, administrative reports. Letter A, the mayor's report. Good evening to the illustrious executive board, to the citizens of Robbins. I'm going through the agenda, through basic government. I have nothing to report from the mayor at this time. The village administrator will have a report as far as the day-to-day operations, which she will give tonight. I am scheduling a meeting with Bob Rita in the upcoming week. Under my agenda, the whole citizen. Once again, we are still working diligently to bring a grocery store into Robbins. It's a slow progress, but we are making that initiative. Rebuilding the foundation. The CDBG lowest bidder was approved for the street resurfacing. Unfortunately, the weather is starting to get cold. That won't start until spring of 2022. Okay, so we was expecting some streets to get repaved this fall. Unfortunately, we didn't make it in that time. But 2022 is an exciting year. Robbins United, as the clerk mentioned, there's a turkey giveaway on November the 20th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., location the Village Hall. Congrats to our Robbins Eagles cheer and football programs on their continued success. And then public safety. We will have a report by the police chief and the fire deputy chief tonight under the public safety committee report. You can please see the administration for a copy of that. Tonight, now let me just state this for the record. The police department and the fire department, they serve with honor. All right, we are not fragmented. We are actually rebuilding a strong department, responding and servicing the citizens. I am aware of the recent violence that's been going on in the community. I do receive the calls. Our police department do receive the calls. And once again, they report to work daily, making us safe and serving with honor. Tonight, during the council meeting, we have 8 total cameras in which we're going to pass tonight. That is very beneficial and very needed in this time in our community. So I just want to reiterate that I am aware of the violence that's going on. I'm not naive, all right, and we are addressing it tonight and in the next couple of days and weeks with hiring and whatnot, okay? And with that, I'll turn it over to the village administrator so she can give you a day-to-day report on what's going on in the village hall.
Good evening, Mayor Board, citizens. So I'm just gonna briefly give you just a little bit about what's going on in each department. Just very briefly, a couple highlights. So I'm gonna start with the finance department. As Mr. Kemp, our finance director, could attest, we are finding a lot of bills that have been unpaid for quite some time, that are accumulating late fees and things of that nature. We have certain bills that our AT&T bill, for example, we still had former employees that had those devices. So we're paying very high, astronomical bills on top of late fees because things weren't done properly. So we're doing what we can to address those issues. I know if you're here at pretty much every council meeting, you know that the Wi-Fi has been down in the council room. That's because we're paying way too much money for things that we shouldn't. So just brief example, we're a municipality. We should be on government accounts where we don't accumulate overages and late fees and things of that nature. But the accounts were set up like a private citizen. And so we're accruing all of these costs, and we are doing everything we can, even if it's slow motion. I would rather not have Wi-Fi in here than pay high bills, the unnecessary bills. I would rather do it right, get it done the right way, have contracts on file, be able to anticipate how much our bills are each month, so we can really develop an operating budget to go along with our appropriation. And as a part of the mayor's agenda to be very transparent, it was the administration's decision to go ahead and start having every other week we meet with the finance chair, Trustee Bruton, so that he cannot just, be at the meeting and see a warrant list with a bunch of bills on it, but he can actually start to understand what the bills are, what we're paying for things, line it up with the contract. And we found in the last couple of meetings that, what is this? Do we have a contract on file? So what it's doing is forcing us to ask the tough question, what's been going on, and rectify those issues with multiple entities. So not just the finance department looking over it. I'm not signing anything if I don't know what it is. And so we have had some bills that have been held up because I needed to know what we were paying before we paid anything. Moving on to HR, our HR director is working diligently to solidify some hiring and recruiting processes so that we can hire quality people. We know, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of money to offer right now, but I think it is people that have a heart for our community and are willing to put in the work, and we're looking for those people who will show up and actually do the work and, are able to adapt to change, because we're gonna constantly change, we're gonna constantly develop new processes and new systems, and we want people that's gonna be able to adapt to that so we can continue the forward motion. In our building department, just by show of hands, how many people here have had an issue with the building department, code enforcement? Nobody? 1, 2, 3. Tell the truth, shame the devil. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we are in the process of restructuring the building department. So currently, many of you have probably heard that we no longer have the 2 code enforcers that we had. So we're working to restructure that and make sure we have processes and systems in place that will allow us to get the work done. We're on the verge of a lot of development in the community, and we want to make sure we have people in place to do the work. Water department, we hired 2 new water clerks. One is a Robbins resident, so shout out to them. Public works, we have a need for a lot of vehicles. We're working on a senior snow removal program, but that's gonna take time. We need the equipment, we need money for that.
He said you looked at him.
I'm trying to recall the word. I'll skip police and fire because they'll give their information. And then the last thing is even the clerk, even though, I'm not a supervisor over the clerk, we have been working very diligently together as we find bills and things of that nature to make sure we have contracts in place and in her records to show us what we're paying for. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Letter B, the clerk's report.
We don't have a report this evening.
Letter C, the treasurer's report. Item 4, standing committee reports. Trustee Robinson, can you go to public safety to get the police chief and deputy chief so they can say it under your committee, their reports? Call them up. I'm gonna turn it over to you. Turn it over to you.
I always go first, so I was trying to share the voice and see if anybody else wanted to go. Hey, I have something to say. We have something to say. All right.
Hey, we need the citizens' comments rules on the trustees.
Okay, so Chief Shepherd and Deputy Chief Redmond, if you guys would like to come up. Also, Deputy Chief Malley.
Okay, he says he's gonna take a while, so I'll go first. I can also talk a long time, but I won't tonight. Good evening, everyone. Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk, Madam Administrator, trustees. As of October 31st, the Robbins Fire Department has responded to 1,374 incidents. During the month of October, the department responded to a total of 134 incidents, 105 emergency medical services, 6 motor vehicle accidents, 14 fire-related calls, 2 hazardous materials calls, including carbon dioxide, natural gas leaks, 2 service calls, 1 wires down, 1 elevator rescue, and 3 other related. Please note that our ambulance is currently out of service. What that means is you'll see a fire engine pull up to the scene before the ambulance gets there from Bud's. We are equipped with emergency equipment to handle it until the ambulance gets there. Excuse me, I got some allergy thing going on, I apologize. We're proud to announce that we have our first member complete their in-house Secretary of State training, which means he was licensed to drive the fire equipment. That's pretty big because that cuts out going to the DMV, which, as we know, those lines can be drastically long. So congratulations to Firefighter Rodriguez. There are several more members of the department that are going through this process and getting the same training. So the end goal is by the beginning of the year to have everyone have their Class B non-CDL license, if you're a member of the Robbins Fire Department. On Friday, November 5th, the fire department opened up the application process. We're now seeking qualified applicants for the position of firefighter EMT. This is posted on our village website and indeed.com. So if you all know anyone, please visit those as well and pick up an app at the village hall as well. As we know, it's getting cold outside. We encourage everyone to have their furnaces tuned up and inspected by a qualified technician, as they will be utilized quite a bit in these upcoming months. And as we know, change your clock, change your batteries. Please remember, we changed our clocks this past weekend. Just make sure that you change your smoke detector and your carbon monoxide detector batteries as well. And that is all I have. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question?
Thank you, Deputy
Yes.
Chief.
Do you all have any, smoke detectors for the residents?
We do not have any currently. I will reach out to the State Fire Marshal's office. They do have a program. I'll be reaching out to them for that as well. So that's a good question. Thank you. Yes, sir.
How close are we to having get that ambulance back in service?
Well, look, so the ambulance was donated. Just found out the other day, actually. It was a leak in the motor. It was under warranty, luckily. It's not going to cost us any money. But probably in the next week or so, they say there's pieces that they were waiting for. So I don't know how it was spec'd out when they got it, but apparently there's a lot of things that they're finding that happened with that ambulance. It was donated to us. It has done its job up till now, but there's always ways they were looking to get more donated to us as far as ambulance, or in the future, hopefully buy one of our own brand new.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
By saying, this past week, I was in a super good place, extremely proud of the board, the way that we have diligently worked on several things. We passed recently a push tax ordinance. I got a message from Jackson like, hey, is this the deadline? And so we were able to meet the deadline to have the push tax ordinance, which will actually bring in additional revenue to the village. So the push tax ordinance deals with the gaming machines. So every time someone pushes that button, it's a 1 cent tax revenue that the village will receive. And so we have a lot of machines in our community. And so it was a great opportunity for us to take advantage of it. We had to have had the meeting by October 31st. It was posted on that Friday. We had the meeting that Sunday. And so it is an official ordinance within the village. Over the past 2 weeks, as I mentioned, we have worked diligently on passing that ordinance, also planning an impromptu pep rally for the Robbins Eagles football and cheerleading organization. And currently, the board is working on researching all village-owned properties within the village of Robbins, just so that we can know what we have for ourselves. And so we're excited about that as we're moving forward with some purchasing programs and things of that nature. Also, I wanted to mention from the public safety standpoint, so citizens, if you can, please download the Citizens app. It does give you real-time information about things that are going on around you. Also, if you see something, say something. Right before this meeting started, there was a big shootout on my street. My neighbors were calling me like crazy. And so we have to make sure that we call the police, dial 911, so someone can get over there. In addition to that, crime is still happening, every single day. So I'm going to urge and encourage all the citizens to invest in some type of surveillance for your property, whatever, you know, it is that you want. There's a lot of different surveillance, devices out there, but get something. Within the next month, United Way will be here. I have been in direct contact with, the director. They are coming out here to bless 250 families, in the village of Robbins for the Christmas holiday season. So as I receive, more information, it's more so like toys and toiletries, I will share that information with the citizens. Interested families can email me at trobinson@robbins-il.com. I've been working with the chief of police, Chief Shepherd and Deputy Chief Redmond. We're trying to develop a true and thorough comprehensive safety plan. We're gonna be working with the block clubs on that. Also, we're working on developing an administrative tow ordinance, so that's another revenue generator. So say if they pull somebody over, it's a traffic stop with drugs involved, or they're driving under the influence or something like that, the village will be able to place an administrative fee of say like $500. That's pretty much what most municipalities do charge for them to retrieve their vehicle back. Calcom, we do have other options. As Chief Shepherd alluded to earlier, we have been having a very challenging time getting that contract. So there are some other options, once we see if we can get out of that contract that the village can actually look at, in which I think that it might be a better option. The flock cameras, they are actually working already. It hasn't even been 15 days. So there was a crime that I cannot really go into great detail about, but the cameras were able to capture something that allowed the police to get to the next thing, and the mayor can verify that they are actually working. Lastly, I want to say, the comments and the suggestions from the police department and the fire department, we are receiving them. Thank you guys, keep them coming. I will be stopping by weekly or bi-weekly to check the box. Deputy Chief Malley, he has a key. Chief Shepherd has a key, so any of us can take whatever our men and women are saying. And then lastly, I just wanted to say congratulations again to the Robbins Eagles football and cheerleading organization. Also to the Midwest Seahawks, they also won this week. We have the 8U team that is going to the regional championship, and after that, when they win, then they go to the national championship in Florida, which is why I have on my Eagles jersey, because we gotta represent. Yes, and so that's all I have, Mr. Mayor, for this week.
Yes.
Thank you.
As we wrap up the public safety report, I just wanted to jump back in. I didn't mean to cut you off, Trustee Maxey, but I do emphasize that if the board have further questions, please contact the chief directly. He'll answer any of you all's calls. I just wanted to keep the meeting going. This public safety is a hot topic that we can debate, or not debate, but talk about this whole meeting, honestly. But we coming up on an hour. We still haven't got to our business yet. Any standing committee reports? Go ahead, Trustee Sally.
Good evening, board, and good evening, residents. I will make mine brief. As far as the water department, please just continue paying all your water bills. We're working on everything diligently, trying to get everything going properly in that manner with the ordinances. So just continue the good work and keeping up on your water bills as best you can. Public Works, right now, Mr. Wells, I guess he left out, but right now we're just working on a winter program right now, trying to make sure we have the salts properly containerized for that. So we're still constantly moving forward and still working. So I'll just leave it at that. But they're doing a good job right now, and we're going to get even better. Thank you.
And also what I recommend is everybody can start leaving their reports on the back table for the citizens as well. And Ryan, if you can make a copy at the end for the mayor's report for the people. Any other standing committee reports?
Mayor Bryan,
Trustee Jackson.
Board, citizens of Robbins. Today we had an industrial committee meeting. It was basically a presentation about what could be at what we used to call the incinerator. It's at 13400 Kedzie. They're going to have another presentation. And Mr. Raymond is here. If you could just tell them where, Mr. Raymond, and what time, and that's all I would like to, so maybe they could have an opportunity to have a presentation.
Yes, sir. We're going to, once again, my name is Louis Raymond. an attorney and I assist with Bob Fletcher, who is trying to put together a project at what was used to be known as Incinerated. We're going to be at Pastor Smith's church, Progressive Baptist Church on 13525 Killer. Is that right? Killer. Okay. At 5:30 on Friday. You can come by and hear the presentation, which will be similar to what we presented to the Industrial Committee here today. Once again, that'll be 5:30 on Friday, Progressive Baptist Church.
Name of that church?
Progressive Baptist Church.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, trustee. Item 5, ordinance, resolutions, contracts, and agreements. Proclamation declaring November 9th Robbins Eagles Day. Clerk?
Proclamation to honor the Robbins Viking Eagles. Whereas the mayor, clerk, and board of trustees would like to honor, recognize, and congratulate the Robbins Vikings Eagle organization on their accomplishments as state champions for football and cheerleading in the Chicagoland Pop Warner League for the 2021 season. Whereas the Robbins Vikings Eagle 11U team is advancing to the Mid-America Pop Warner Regional Championship, in which they will play Maple Heights Saints from Ohio in Portage, Indiana on Sunday, November 7, 2021. Whereas the Robbins Viking Eagles dominated all teams and ended with an undefeated season, playing high-caliber teams from across the state. Their perfect season included tough wins against formidable opponents. Whereas the Robbins Vikings Eagle defeated the Naperville Patriots 45-13 for the 11U state championship title in the Chicagoland Pop Warner Championship game on Sunday, October 31st, 2021. Whereas the mayor, clerk, and board of trustees would like to declare November 9th as Robbins Viking Eagles Day in the village of Robbins, Illinois. We would like to officially commend the cheerleaders, football players, coaches, parents, and sponsors for their outstanding accomplishments. We also encourage each member of the team to keep soaring academically and athletically in every positive way possible. We are extremely proud of each and every one of you. Let it be known that Mayor Darren E. Bryant, Clerk Sharon S. Dyson, and village trustees David R. Dyson, Tiffany S. Robinson, Ernest Maxey, George Bruton III, Gregory N. Jackson, and Michael Collier Sr. extend our congratulations, best wishes, and continued success to the Robbins Vikings Eagle organization. Signed and entered on the 9th day of November 2021.
Let's give them a round of applause, please. Positivity, hope is always found in our kids. It's always found in the future. And we needed that publicity this past weekend. We needed that for our town. So we really appreciate the success of our kids in the Robbins Eagles football program and cheer. Is there a representative here tonight to receive that? Okay, we'll make sure that they get that, okay? Moving down the agenda. Item number 6, new business. Letter A, approval of the warrant list.
Mayor Bryant.
Trustee Bruton.
I move for the approval of the warrant list in a total amount of $50,196.89. Once I get a motion on the floor, I'd like to do some discussion about it.
Can you say that total again? I know it didn't get a second. Can you say the total again for me though? Okay.
The total is $50,196.89.
50,000. One more time, trustee. 196. Thank you. Is there a second on the floor?
I second that.
Moved by trustee Bruder and second by trustee Dyson to approve the warrant list in the amount of $50,196.89. Any questions?
Yes.
Trustee Bruder.
So I met with your finance team this Friday.
Our finance team.
The administrative side of the finance team. And I'm pleased for the document that we get with the finance report.
However, and I got to see it, Ms. Washington, as far as the Carter excavation, is just Trustee Robinson brought it to my attention that one of them missing right now. I know everybody might have had a chance throughout the week to go see it and different things of that nature. So I just want to give a little explanation, if you don't mind, about the 2 emergency demolitions, because that sheet missing out of this.
And what was the total of those demolitions?
One was 2,500 and the other one's 8,000 something, so the other bills aren't that large, but for something like that, you know, I do want to see the explanation for the reasons that we kind of have already, you know, discussed.
And that happened prior, that's an in-house thing that we're cleaning up, we can discuss that off the record.
Okay, I mean, well, do you just mind giving a brief synopsis of the emergency demolitions? I mean, that they, you know.
So what happened is,
falling over, et cetera, you know.
what happened this past, I believe 2 weekends, we had a couple of demolitions that happened. A house fell on the 86,000. What happened with the 86,000 demo? 8,600.
One of the demolitions was on Trumbull, and then the 8,600 was
On Troy.
Troy, yeah, it was on Troy, and that was in September 7th.
Mm-hmm. So this happened 2 months prior than the latest incident. So that's why I said we were trying to clean up some in-house procedures.
Right, okay, that's good. I was just stating that, you said we're cleaning up the in-house procedures, so within the cleaning up of that, if that, something of this magnitude, because one of those, one is within your discretion, and the other one is like thousands of dollars, you know, to at least like, let us be aware of like what's going on as far as that is concerned, because we're gonna have to make a decision. You know, no one wants to hold up anybody's money, especially since they already did the work, but to let us be aware. So just like with this last situation, we were able to go and investigate, and guess what? We did our research, and we did a great job to find out what we found out. And so I want to have us to be in the know, so we can know like what's going on before we even agree to something like this. Because what if we could have gotten somebody else to do the demolition at a cheaper cost?
Right. Right, and which is why the second time around we did it a cleaner way.
Yes, we did.
Right.
Yes, we did.
Any other questions? All right. Seeing and hearing none, let it be known by roll call.
Trustee Dyson?
Yes.
Trustee Maxey?
Yes.
Trustee Brewer?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Jackson?
Yes.
Trustee Collier?
Yes.
Roll call.
So moved. Letter B, approval of safety surveillance camera contract. And within the past month now, there has been a contract submitted to you all by Cleo Downs. And what we're voting on tonight is which contract are we gonna go with? Are we gonna go with the 12-month contract? Or are we gonna go with the 18th-month contract? For the record, this is the 12-month. The 12 months is for a total of $49,178.88 for monthly payments of $4,255.06. I'm sorry, 6 cents. $4,255.06. The second option is for 18 months for a total payment, monthly payment of $2,863.55. Both of those amounts do have principal applied to them. I don't think we need an intro for this. I think it's just self-explanatory with the recent incidents in our community. So without further discussion, I'll entertain a motion, then we can second it, then we can have further questions.
Mayor Bryant?
Trustee Robinson.
I'd like to make a motion to approve, safety surveillance camera contract.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Robinson, second by Trustee Jackson to approve the safety surveillance camera contract. And matter of fact, the records can reflect which one we picked. All right, any discussion? The discussion now is which one are we gonna go with, the 12-month or the 18th month?
And Mayor?
Yes.
The 49,000 that applies to each term, 12 ending?
Yes, both contracts is for 49,000. Well, we just decided, do we wanna stretch it out longer, or do we wanna, pay it off in a year? did you want to say something, Finance Director? I see you nodding your head. Did you have anything to advise the board or counsel the board on, or?
Well, sure, I guess I would say that even though one of them is of longer duration, the reduced price means that it assists us in the cash flow, and that is what would recommend it. The other one, the 12-month, is certainly of short duration. The interest is a little bit less, but not so much less that it represents a really great deal over the 18-month. And so if I were to make a recommendation to the body, I would say for cash flow purposes, having it, even though it's a longer duration, having a smaller amount of payment is certainly beneficial.
I agree. Mayor Bryant, it's like a $1,400 differential, and for the reasons that Mr. Kemp stated, I agree that we should go with the 18-month. In addition to that, these are the 360 cameras, correct?
Yes.
So we're getting a higher quality camera that can actually see everything around the area of what's happening, you know, so it's better than what we actually have out there right now, which is kind of like one dimension. It can only see what's in front of it.
Any other item to come for the board? Questions? All right, so for the record, we're going for the 18th month contract for the safety surveillance cameras. Seeing and hearing none, let it be known by roll call.
Trustee Dyson?
Yes.
Trustee Maxey?
Yes.
Trustee Bruton?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Jackson?
Yes.
Trustee Collier?
Yes.
Roll call.
So moved. Once the approval now, the police team, chief, deputy chief, along with public safety, determine the areas. Okay. Letter C, approval of street closure for Robbins United Turkey Giveaway and Resource Fair Saturday, November 20th, 2021 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Holman, 137th through Turner, 137th front of Village Hall, not in front of the fire department. Can I get a motion, please?
Mayor Bryant?
Trustee Robinson.
I'd like to make a motion for the approval of street closure for hashtag Robbins United Turkey Giveaway and Resource Fair, Saturday, November 20th, 2021, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Holman at 137th Street through to Turner at 137th Street in front of the Village Hall, but not in front of the fire department.
Madam Board, I'll second.
Move trustee Robinson, second by Collier, Dyson, and Bruton. Approval of street closures, Robbins United Turkey Giveaway, Saturday, 20th, 9-3, Holman, 137th to Turner, 137th Village Hall, no fire department. Any questions? Seeing and hearing none, let it be known by roll call.
Trustee Dyson?
Yes.
Trustee Maxey?
Yes.
Trustee Bruton?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson?
Yes.
Trustee Jackson?
Yes.
Trustee Collier?
Yes.
Roll call.
So moved. Anything else to come before the board? Anything else to come before the board for citizens' comments? Okay, well, before we go to citizens' comments, I just want to express to the board that we must continue to grow together. We must continue to strive together, and together we can move this village forward. All right, comments for the citizens, item number 7, Ms. Williams. 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
I don't need that long.
Yes, ma'am.
As you know, I sent an email to you, Mayor Bryan, and about a tree that's destroying my garage, that's leaning on my garage, and I asked you in that email about the program. I spoke with Mr. Wells. He came by and to verify that this was actually happening. What my question is, when you emailed me back, you said, no worry, thank you, no worry, thank you. Can you explain what you mean by no worry, thank you, no worry, thank you? That was your whole comment.
It means that, one, you talked to Mr. Wells. That means that somebody on my team was following up. So I apologize for not being more detailed, but someone on my team followed up to get some clarification on what's going on. Just to have an extension of the dialogue that we just had 10 minutes ago, we're trying to rectify and have a clean process for these emergencies that happen throughout the day-to-day of the village, right? Because what we're facing with is, here's another example. And this don't have nothing to do with you, but I'm glad you stated this, because this kind of clears up some things. Like we have police vehicles that just had to go into the vehicle, the shop that was over my $2,500 expense, right? So what's the process? Do I need to wait for the board to get approval to send those vehicles to the shop, right? So it's still some cleaning up as far as we gotta do. There's still some programs we gotta establish. There's still some processes we gotta have to help you and other citizens who have trees on their houses, and to have trees on their cars and abandoned buildings, things of that nature.
So you don't know when the program, you don't know
No,
when,
I don't know.
when it's gonna happen?
I
I
know
just
they-
hope it doesn't destroy my garage, because that'd be a problem to the village also.
I understand. Well, first we gotta find out, is it village property?
It is village property.
Okay, so if that's
It's
concerned,
village property, I wouldn't say that if it wasn't.
you'll be surprised what we get every day.
No, I'm not like that, it's village property.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I know they talked about this in committee today, as far as the tree removal program. Does any trustee want to follow up on the timeline to Ms. Williams?
Mayor Brown,
Trustee Brody?
don't get no exact time, but I will remind, in regards to trees seem to be a problem, and we're gonna have the discussion, I want to remind trustees that we gotta think about what we want to do with the ARPA money, so to speak, whatnot. I know that your administration want to give us a list of priorities, et cetera, but we keep that in mind. I'm not saying that we're gonna spend it on that, but that's an option. Because again, I'm going to contact y'all and decide when we'll have the next finance meeting. It's supposed to be next week, but I just want to double check with y'all. And we got to keep that in mind. Things that citizens is bringing before us, whatnot, so that's the follow-up to that.
Ms. Williams, can you give me your address again?
My address?
Yes.
3206 Summer Lane.
Yeah, and you know what, I don't think when the mayor was, stating that some property might not be, so this past, week, the board was summoned with an emergency to cut down 2 trees, and we were told that they were on village-owned property, but after we did research, they weren't on village-owned property. So that's why I just asked you, just to double check, but we will follow up with you.
Okay, this was
We'll definitely follow up.
demolition house. It
Okay.
was demolition house, and I'm sure the village, once they make the demolition, the land becomes the property of the village.
Let me clarify this. I know what you're talking about. For the record, when we was having a lot of demolitions happen within our community within the past election year, that process wasn't done right. It was just demolitions happening, tearing down, no asbestos check, no permits, not the proper procedure with the county. So we don't necessarily, I'm not gonna say no, but we don't necessarily possess all the land that we demoed. So that's why I said you're assuming that it's village owned because it was demoed, but when you're dealing down there, ain't no assuming. You gotta really know.
Yeah, well, I can find out myself if it's village
We can
property.
find out.
I know how to do that. Thank you.
Do you think Clerk, you think I articulated that the right way? Thank you, Clerk. Any other questions from the citizens? Tom?
I have a question on what you were speaking about.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. What's your name, sir?
Alfred Bowens.
Ms. Bowens, yes, sir. Go ahead.
I have a question about what she was saying about the trees and everything. And that is one of the great problems that we have around a lot of our homes and other people's homes and with the village of property with Robbins. But nobody never realized the resources of the trees and stuff. And see, it's a program that I've been trying to get through with US.org, which, government funding. And, to train some of the kids. And see, these resources that we have with these trees, you'll be amazed of some of the things that can be done about this through government funding. That's just like you were saying with plan number 6 with new business and training kids in that. And see, I'm a tradesman, and not only just an entrepreneur. Making business happening, this is what I've been trying to do with the people at Robbins as well as these children in school, trying to use our resources like this to train our kids what to do with these resources. And see, but the only thing with myself is, like I said, this program that I have, working with the US.government.org, with the government grants and everything, having the village to back up this program and having this presentation put out. You know, it's a training course, like I say. But these trees, like she said, it's a problem. I have a neighbor with a tree. That tree is so big, I'm afraid it might anytime fall on my home. You know, and see, this is another thing, but if we could take these resources, it's a tree so big, I can take one tree and my neighbor across the street and build me a log cabin. I mean, Robbins has some big trees. And that is the valuable resources that nobody is never looking at, that we have. You know, and it's something to put in great consideration when you have somebody that can take these resources, and not just me, maybe these young kids here, maybe someone there, train them, you know, in carpentry, something like this and that, and having the equipment to do it properly. You know, and I have so much, I ain't even gonna go through this book and my papers, but like you said, number 6, the business, the location and everything, like you said, putting even the cameras, where are these cameras gonna be placed in the proper places? I mean, what area? You gotta consider the crime of where these cameras need to be placed. And the interest rates, like this guy was saying, you know, how much is this gonna cost us over a certain amount of time? All of this, we all have to put in consideration. It's not just costing the village, it's costing us as citizens.
Absolutely.
You know, so, but like I said, you know, I don't know even, I've been trying to find out when the meeting's gonna be, because see, like I said, my time is of the essence as well. And I just wanted to present this here. Every chance I get, I'm gonna try to be here. I don't know what days the meeting. I came here a couple of times and there was no meeting. They had to swearing in and everything and stuff. But like I said, I'm trying to work with not just the village, but with the village children as well. High school kids. They halfway going to school. And see, this is a program that gives them something when they're not in school, they can learn something. They can learn a skill.
Mr. Bowen?
Yes.
So what I advise is please schedule a meeting with the administration or even with some of the committees, the trustees.
Yes, I tried that, but I never could get back. I never got a number where I could get back in touch with her. If I did, no one ever calls back or nothing.
Okay. Well, let's follow back up again. All right. After the meeting, get in contact with the village administrator. I was also looking for you for the CDBG project. Where was you in that regards?
Well, okay, I was here kind of late on the CBD. Now, what was that concerning? See, like I said, I'll be willing to do that.
Yes, sir, brother.
I'll be willing.
All right, Mr. Bowen.
Mr. Bowens, I wanted to ask you, who was you reaching out to, Mr. Bowens?
Beg your pardon?
So who did you reach out to?
Who did I reach out to?
Yes, sir.
I've been paying usgovernment.org on the grant program, which the grant program will
No, I
allow.
was saying as far as like the trustees.
Oh, the
Or
trustees, matter of fact, I called Gary, is that Gary?
Ryan?
Oh, I called him, I didn't get an answer today. We're trying to find out when the meeting is gonna be.
Who's Gary?
I mean, that's the guy there, Ryan. Okay, see, I don't know. I got to have a phone. I also called the village itself. I called your office. I left a message, but it was after hours. About today to try to find out when the meeting was at.
Before you leave, we'll make sure you get the business card so you can send us an email too, because like the trustees, we really don't have
Right,
a phone per se, but we have Ryan, Mr. Buckley,
right.
you know, and you can send us an email.
Well, like I said, I got a lot of information I would like to share with the village. You know, as grants and everything.
Brother Tommy?
Good evening, everybody. I might be putting a cherry before the horse, but I know you guys just approved the cameras, the surveillance cameras. Was it discussed where they'll be, like, or?
No.
Okay, well, until they're installed, as a citizen, I would just advise, like, the other citizens to, if you see a lot of crime going on your street or something like that, just reach out to our police department. Because you may see an abundance of people that's in front of the house. They might not be doing nothing, but it may stop them from doing something in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm not saying badger every person that you see in the street that's standing around, but nevertheless, when it's an abundance of people standing around somewhere, normally something's probably gonna happen, so. Especially in the middle of the daytime, if they're not at work or at school or something, you know, so. Just me as a citizen, I'm saying to the other citizens, not the administration, but just to reach out and call our police department and you know, let them take care of it, you know, so. Cause that may stop a lot, the police presence alone will stop a lot that's going on, you know, but if kids know that they're not gonna come down our street, they're gonna just do whatever they want to, you know, and wait for them to come and then, you know, so that's all I had to say.
Comments from the citizens? Dr. Dart?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
Board. My name is Dr. Cornell Darden Jr. I'm the owner of the Southland Journal newspaper, and I just wanted to make a comment about my last comment at the board meeting, in which I explained how my newspaper, the Southland Journal, was being blackballed by someone that works on behalf of the village and represents the village. I also made a public comment on Facebook about that, and it may have been misconstrued. We have been covering news in Robbins, and the news that we have been covering, Mayor Bryant has been personally reaching out to us to make sure that we're aware. The person that's currently working in that capacity, that person needs to go. That person is operating unethically. Who would blackball a newspaper that not only is headquartered in Robbins, but is the largest newspaper in the Southland? We are the only newspaper in the Southland that covers every single council meeting in Robbins, Calumet City, Dalton, Harvey, Country Club Hill, Hazelcrest, Markham, and Chicago Heights. That's unheard of. No one covers those meetings. Name me one other newspaper headquartered in the Southland that does that. And it was created by someone born and raised in this town. It is, again, the largest newspaper in the area, and that person acts very unprofessional. I would never do anything like that. If someone hired me to represent them, I would represent them to the best of my ability. I would make sure that I took on the task to put them in front of anybody that would help them be successful. And not allowing the media from Robbins to be in the largest newspaper in the Southland makes Robbins unsuccessful. Well, it's going to make it unsuccessful, but it doesn't give it the best shot to be successful. So that's horrible. So I did just wanted to clarify that. Mayor Bryant has been the person reaching out, making sure that we get the media releases for Robbins, or that we are aware that something media worthy is going on in town. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Dr. Darden, thanks for clearing that up, because I was a little, like you said, misconstrued with that statement. But we do support Dr. Darden as one of our own. All right, I do believe that Dr. Darden is a good resource for the village of Robbins. All right, so we'll come to a remedy, and we'll make sure that things are in forward motion for this village. All right. Anything else with that? Board want to state something in that regard?
Comment.
Yes, Ms. Ward.
Two things. Either my hearing got better tonight or the microphones are on.
I'm just talking kind of low. This is my school voice.
And the other thing is that I really got a lot of information tonight. It sounds like we're conducting a meeting like intelligent, educated people ought to do. Very informative. I really could boast about you tonight, and I hope all the other meetings are this informative. It's really, really good to know what's going on. It gives us a good information about how the city is doing when we feel so oppressed.
Yes.
So thank you very much, everybody, and I can even hear Mr. Mann. See, I have to say that. So thank you very much. I do have a question. I have no idea, I forget a lot. Who told me this? But we're paying $7,000 every 2 weeks to somebody, some organization that cuts our lawn and tree.
I can answer that.
Please.
We're not anymore.
Oh.
But that was our summer help, our public works that helped kept the village clean, visible, the best it's looking in years. Yes.
Okay, so that was.
And, yes, I mean, even from this capacity, the manpower and the equipment that we don't have, it was either gonna be purchased or subcontracted out, which we honestly gotta have that same discussion about the winter.
Thank you very much.
Trustee Robinson? Find me plow truck money. All right, any other, Ms. Rhodes?
Is it possible that we could have our meetings on Zoom?
It is. Well, no, it's not on Zoom, I'm sorry. They're recorded,
I know they're recorded so we can see them, but if they're on Zoom, then, and we're at home, we can participate in the meeting. Like when it comes to public comment, we'll be able to do that. Because with it getting dark, I'm not really comfortable with coming up here at night and going back by myself at home.
Now, what we can differentiate the meeting. I have my brother have a Zoom option, in which you can log in from home on Zoom, but I think we still gonna probably stay in person. But I'll give the citizens that option.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for us, you know, for some of the seniors, it would be better for us to have it on Zoom. No, I don't want I don't want your meetings to stop. And when the weather gets better and the time gets, you know, lighter, then we'll come back.
Ms. Wilson and Mr. Bryant, is that feasible?
Yeah, it's feasible.
To have a Zoom option? Okay, good. We'll have that for the citizens and for our seniors especially.
Okay, let us know when you can do it.
Yes, ma'am. We can have that, can we say next, the fourth council meeting, the next regularly scheduled council meeting, not the committee or nothing like that?
Yeah, we can have it by next week. Yeah,
Okay, in 2
we have it
weeks.
up by next week.
Okay,
In
that'd
2
be
weeks.
fine.
In 2 weeks, it should be up for the next, the fourth, the 23rd, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
Comments from the citizens? All right. Seeing and hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor Board,
Trustee Max.
I make a motion that we adjourn the regular council meeting for tonight. It's our next scheduled council meeting.
Second.
Moved by Trustee Maxey, second by Trustee Dyson and Trustee Robinson. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it.